listen to this. I actually have an answer to this, and I don't know, and I know it sounds like I'm being silly, but I'm not. This was actually a tweet yesterday on the Nintendo, whatever it's called, the goddamn Nintendo Twitter account, goddamn thing, whatever, cockadoodie thing. They ask a question of their audience. They says, "Look, fellas, which character from a Nintendo game would you like to invite to dinner?" And they said they haven't done it yet, but they said they were going to announce the results. I haven't seen them yet. Let me see if they announced them in a different tweet. But I thought about this because I thought it's stupid, whatever. And then when I thought about it, I actually was like, oh, I would really like to have dinner with this or that character. So I brought them up. And these are the two that I would want to have dinner with the most, okay? Of their cavalcade of, that's pretty good. A cab says I would invite Toad and make myself mushroom soup. That's horrible. You're going to hell, sir. You're going to hell. But so I would choose Ganon and I would choose Kid Icarus, right? Because I think that the dinner conversation, like I think the obvious is like, oh, I'll choose Daisy. I'll choose Zelda. Because I want to have sex with them. I'll choose Samus. I want to have sex with her. Of course I do. I'll choose Diddy Kong. I want to have sex with him. Of course I do. I wouldn't want to have sex with Boo because it would get boring because you can only fuck him from behind. But the point is, I would choose Ganon, okay? And I would choose Icarus, Kid Icarus. And here's why. I would choose Ganon because, unlike Donkey Kong, unlike Bowser, he's a really bad, evil fucking guy. And just like I like to have racists call into the show or assholes call in because I want to get under their skin and figure out what makes them tick. What causes someone to be that cruel and evil? And do they think of themselves that way? I could have a 5-hour dinner conversation with Ganon about explain this to me. You have money, you have wealth, you have power, you're safe, you're not going to be on the streets. Why are you consistently being an asshole? So I'm serious. I would like to have that conversation with him. The Kid Icarus conversation would be more about God. Because God would be like, Icarus is like, hey, you know Zeus. You know the gods. They're real things. Explain this to me. Did they go away when the Christian gods rose up? Is Zeus still God, but now he is Jesus? Or Yahweh or Muhammad. It's just that he changed the way he presents to the modern world, but he's still the same God that you deal with back in your adventures. I would have that conversation. I would absolutely have that conversation. I like my Ruin who says I'd pick Kirby and hit up a buffet. I like that, but I would think about that because Kirby would suck it all in. First, you're at a buffet, right? Which means it's all you can eat. So you don't really need Kirby. But let's assume you did. Well, sure, he can suck it all up, but you have to basically eat his regurgitated food. I don't know why you would choose that. Yeah, Crazed Assassin says Jaffe's thinking too deep into it. My first thought was, which one can I fuck? And I gave you the list of those. That ain't very deep. It depends on who I pick. But when I really did driving around, started to think about it, I don't know. These are some interesting characters that you could have really interesting conversations with. In fact, when Nintendo makes chatbots for all these characters, which inevitably they will in the next 20 years, I will sit there and try to have these conversations with them and let's see what happens. I would love to. It's like, I'm in. I'm totally in. Why would you have, Matt B., why would you have dinner with Donkey Kong? Yeah, Zaff, dinner with Wario would turn into a chat about getting rich quick. Dinner with Wario would be all about NFTs. That's probably what it would fucking be like. Kirby has the mouth. Listen, I'm saying you can't be sexual with him, okay? You've got to look at it as an actual just proper dinner at a very fancy restaurant like the Olive Garden, and you're sitting there and you're just kind of like, all we can do is talk to each other. That's what should define the choice, not which one of these characters you want to fuck or get fucked by. Freaky Deaky says Ganon was abused and neglected as a child, not socially accepted. He has a permanent chip on his shoulder. Is that his backstory, really? Isn't this brain thing up here? That's Metroid, right? That's the brain character in Metroid. You know me and Metroid. I don't fucking know. That might be an interesting thing, just to talk to the brain. It's just pure intellectual discourse because he has nothing else. Oh yeah, well, Chili's either Olive Garden or Chili's, Protoss X, absolutely. Okay, let's move the fuck on.